Vindictive victors. That's the focus of tonight's angle. Socialists are so kind and compassionate. They care about people. Well, that's what the ignorant among us believe, because that's how they were programmed. And during his campaign, Mamdani was the perfect salesman for socialism, always smiling, so sweet and funny.
You deserve better. You deserve to be able to raise your family here, to be safe, to travel where you need to, free of costs and worry. You deserve someone who works as hard as you do, who thinks about you every second of the day. That's the kind of mayor I promise to be. New York, will you accept this rose?
Unfortunately, enough voters, most of them foreign-born, by the way, said yes. What they don't know yet, though, is that Mamdani, the rose, is poisonous. New Yorkers may think they voted for progress, but they should prepare for Mamdani-style punishment. Higher taxes, mandated minimum wage hikes are killers for restaurants and hotels. And while targeting millionaires may go over well in Queens, it's just going to end up depleting the tax base. I'll tell you who's smiling tonight. Ron DeSantis is smiling. Now, socialists promise affordability, but they're going to deliver scarcity. They promise dignity, but they'll deliver disappointment. And of course, they promise dialogue, but they'll stamp out dissent. Neither Mamdani nor AOC nor Bernie Sanders like to mention the godfather of socialism much. Of course, we're talking about Karl Marx. But Marx believed a truly classless society required three things. 1, abolishing private property. 2, centralizing the means of production. And 3, crushing dissent. So no one is safe today. Not even a once revered senior senator from New York who supported Mamdani. Over lunch yesterday with AOC, the mayor-elect refused to rule out Chuck Schumer's facing an election challenge. Oops. Well, so much for Chuck Schumer's 40 years of service. The radicals are giddy, they're impatient, and they're ruthless.
I think everybody has to understand what the mood in the country is, that people want fighters.
Should Tuesday's election be a warning to him that he's got to...
Absolutely. I think it should be a warning. Just caving to the easiest road, you know, and not getting a victory, not using our power for what we need to use is I think, is not going to be acceptable.
So you're not calling on Schumer to step aside right now?
I got to go.
I got to go. Got to go. By a vowel. Well, Jayapal is kind of a poor woman's AOC, but everyone's taken their signals from AOC, who, by the way, never wanted to just have a seat at the Democrat table. From day one, she wanted to be at the head of the table. And with Nancy Pelosi retiring, there's no one to stop her. AOC is setting the menu, and she's deciding who gets to eat. Literally, who gets to eat. Because if you thought winning on Tuesday would push them to open the government so that 42 million who are dependent on food stamps can eat, well, you were wrong. Democrats are all sounding like Bernie Sanders now.
I think there's a real gravity to what happened on Tuesday. Voters were telling Democrats they want us to stand up for what we believe in, and they want us to use our power to try to keep costs down.
They're not gracious winners. They're vicious victors. Keeping the government shut down is now their right. They believe it's their eternal right. If flights are canceled at airports, people are inconvenienced, they don't care.
Certainly devastating and certainly inconvenient. Is it more important than 24 million Americans losing their health insurance or not being able to afford their rent? No, that needs to be solved. That's much on the scale of pros and cons. That is what needs to be prioritized.
Oh, she's annoying. Well, centrists are being lobbied on the phone and in person against pushing for any deal with Trump. But Democrats are digging in on their Obamacare demands as well. But the president addressed all of this in the Oval today.
Obamacare is a disaster. The Obamacare premium is going to go up 17 or 18%, and that's not my fault. I didn't want Obamacare. That's the fault of the people that put it in, the Democrats. And now they want it subsidized further.
Of course, he's right. The entire Obamacare fiasco, that's on Democrats' shoulders. Remember, it was supposed to be the Affordable Care Act. We told you at the time it would be unaffordable and lead to scarcity in health care. And by the way, it's the president who is moving on multiple fronts to grow the economy and bring down overall costs.
Energy is way down. Look at energy. We're going to have $2 gasoline. I did that. That brings everything else down. Groceries are way down other than beef. Now, beef is going to come down.
Now, just compare the consumer price index in Trump's first 9 months in office to Biden's. Well, Biden was up at about 4.87. Trump brought the price index down. That means things more affordable by more than half that. But of course, if you want affordable living, and who doesn't, you should know where to find it. And it's not in the cities run by Democrats, I can tell you that. Here's a list of the most expensive urban areas in the United States. 2 boroughs of New York City are in the top 5. Also, of course, San Francisco, San Jose, Boston. Nice job, libs. And we're supposed to believe that Mamdani, with 0 experience in business, guy who's never run anything other than a turntable, has a secret sauce? Now, it doesn't matter how much Mamdani chats up bodega workers or speaks in Arabic or grins on TikTok. His socialist utopia will never exist. It never can. And life in New York, sadly, will get more, not less expensive for the working people. New York isn't in this list of the most expensive states yet. But in a few years after Mamdani, if he gets his way, I bet it will be. And guess what? Today's Democrat Party, they really don't care because most of them know that their policies lead to high crime. And look, they push those policies anyway. And they know things like government-run grocery stores, like that's from the Soviet era, that's going to flop. But they'll let Mamdani prattle on about them anyway. And they know that things like rent freezes are going to lead to less building. That means fewer housing units. But they'll promise it anyway. This is all, in the end, cruel. And it's a hoax. It's vindictive. And it's all about power. It's about getting power, holding on to power, and wielding power. But meanwhile, Trump is actually improving American lives. We know he's removing illegal alien criminals, making everybody safer, and he's lowering prices for prescription meds, including now life-saving weight loss drugs.
The most important step to getting healthy is believing that your life has value, that God meant for each of us to have purpose and joy and to live fully. And to do that, we must be good stewards of our body. And the president has been fighting to provide another tool to do just this and enable this.
Talk about cutting the fat. I love this. Now, going forward, expect the smiling socialists. They're not going to be impressed by any of this. Cheaper drugs, lower energy. No, they're just going to show more of their fangs. Pelosi built the Democrat machine on Capitol Hill, but it's AOC's now. Look, we know that Hakeem Jeffries is a weakling. He's not going to do anything to oppose AOC. And the Midwest governors who are Democrats, they're not tough. Kamala Harris, well, sorry, but she's just an ignoramus. So until the radicals now in power with wind at their back, until they lose and lose badly, they will continue to be vicious and vindictive. And they'll be demanding. And they're going to roll over anyone who gets in their way. And no, by the way, the filibuster, not going to stop them.
You have to end the filibuster. The filibuster is, and they'll do it too. They'll immediately do it. You know, what they're going to do is, what the Democrats will do is they're going to make Puerto Rico a state. They're going to make D.C. a state. They're going to pack the court. They're going to end up with more electoral votes.
This is why Trump has a sense of urgency. He knows what they're capable of doing and what they will do. And as usual, his political instincts are right. And that's the angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.